water hit your windshield.
Yeah.
Imagine that's mud.
Oh my God.
Can you say and spell your name for me real quick?
Miles Horn, Mileshorne.
Should I ask them to see if they can find out?
Just a little bit, it'd be nice. It's not bad, but it's just every now and then when the big musical note hits.
Guys, could I ask you to hold it down for 5 minutes? Could you just hold it down for like 5 minutes, just a little bit? Thank you.
I won't make this last too long. I introduce yourself and how long you've been involved with the summer arts intensive.
I'm Miles Horn. I've been doing the intensive for 3 years now.
Are you from Colorado Springs?
I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado.
How how did you hear about the intensive?
I actually heard about the intensive while I was just Googling random things like random auditions, and it just showed up. And I was like, hey, that sounds interesting. So I auditioned, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's cool. What since this is your third year, kind of how has the program changed at all?
It has. I feel like at first it was a little too intense, but it's gotten a lot easier to handle, and it's a lot less stressful than it was at first. But even at first, it was still really fun. It's the only way it's changed is it's gotten better, and I've made a lot of new friends. So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the teachers that you're learning from and working with.
Okay, so the teachers are absolutely amazing because they're honestly some of the best people I've ever worked with. I mean, they're just the best. I mean, they're from New York. They have access to a lot of things that we don't usually get in Colorado because we're Colorado and New York is the center of theater. So they just have a lot of access, and because of that, they're able to bring everything that they possibly can to the table.
Awesome. You know, what have you gained out of the program and that you want to bring with you in the future?
I've gained definitely a whole new face to my performing abilities. I mean, I remember being that kid who was always, I'll just stand in the back and kind of sing, and now I'm always the one who's like, I'm gonna do my best to be in the front and sing loud, and if I mess up, I'm gonna mess up loud.
Awesome. Did you have an interest in opera before?
Yes, I did. And this has definitely made it much more interesting and much more prevalent in my career choices.
Do you think you'll try and pursue a career in opera, theater, the arts?
I'm still deciding between opera and musical theater, but I'm definitely going to be singing for my entire life.
Do you know what you're going to do after you graduate high school?
I'd like to go to college and get a degree in musical theater or vocal performance. Again, still deciding which, but after that, I'd like to be on Broadway.
Do you think this program will help you?
Oh, most definitely. Because, I mean, every single college that I visited, every single time I mention Central City and Colorado Springs Conservatory, their eyes light up. And it is the coolest thing ever to see that.
Since you've been there twice already, tell me a little bit about Central City.
Central City, I feel like every time in those 4 or 5 days that we're there, I just grow so much because suddenly I'm surrounded by some of the best singers in the nation, even the world, and some of the best coaches and directors in the world.
So are they also helping you guys
Yeah,
with your opera?
a bit. The ones that we bring here to Colorado Springs are much more hands-on, but once we go up, we have master classes, diction classes, and they just perfect it while we're there. So that's really exciting.
Um, can you touch a little bit about the relationship between the conservatory and the Central City Opera?
It's a pretty close relationship, and it's fairly unique because this is its 10th year, I think. Everyone there sort of knows that it's going to be really exciting because suddenly there's a bunch of teenagers who are putting on a show that they wrote that's actually pretty good.
That's really cool. Why do you think you're obviously very interested in theater and
Mhm.
musical theater and the arts? Why do you think it's important for high school students to have access to this type of thing?
Because no matter what career you do, I mean, if it's science, even public speaking, all of it will eventually come back and have relation to theater, just like theater has relation to every other career in the world. Because no matter what you do, you're always going to be communicating with people. And that's what theater is, it's just communication.
Have you spread the word about the program at all?
Yes, I have. I've got friends in New York who I didn't even meet through this, and I've told them about it. I've got friends in Fort Collins who I've told it about. I've tried to spread it as fast as I can because this is something that more people need to know about.
If you were talking to someone who's on the fence about auditioning next year, what would you tell them?
Audition, just audition. Even if you don't get in, the audition is a wonderful thing to go through. Auditioning in itself is one of the most important things as a performer because every single time you do something, you're going to be auditioning. And if you take every chance you audition, you're going to be the best auditioner that you can be.
Very cool. What do you want to add about the conservatory and the intensive especially?
It's something that I look forward to every year. I remember leaving and going, man, I can't wait to come back. Already, it had been 3 hours and I couldn't wait to come back.
So it's obviously made a big impact on your life.
It's a huge impact.
Very cool. Maddie, do you have anything to add?
Can we all get backstage passes when you're famous?
Sure, definitely.
That's my only question.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you,
was
Miles.
wonderful.